Welcome to Love and Marriage Podcast.
Hi, everybody.
I got my hubs with me, and we, as promised, delivering another podcast this Saturday, this lovely Saturday. It is 91 degrees here. Very hot. My babe is getting darker. I'm getting darker. So I figured it's a perfect day to talk about colorism.
Whoa.
I love his side of us. And we're driving, so yeah, that's even perfect because this is when we have most of our discussions. So, I know, like me being a black person, I experienced colorism. My mom is dark-skinned, and I have various shades of melanin in my family, and as well as my husband. But one topic we wanted to talk about is just how it affects our communities, how it feels to be darker or lighter. I know, coming from a family where I'm medium complected, I know that my mom, she's a darker person, and she's experienced a lot of colorism, and she's had a big issue with it. Just like the whole you're pretty for a dark-skinned woman, etc. And just even in movies and TV, like we see movies now, we're just now seeing like dark-skinned black women on movies like Queen and Slim, stuff like that. But most of our movies are light-skinned women, which goes to show, like, is black considered beautiful as much as we say? I mean, we still have leaps and bounds to go when it comes to that. But the bigger topic is in my husband's community, where they really being dark is not beautiful. I mean, if you could just go to Mexico and watch every TV show on there, everybody is light skinned.
But you go outside, everybody's dark.
Yeah, you go to Mexico, everybody's dark. But the representation of what's on TV, as far as two dark people together, or even in the Mexican community, just dark Mexicans on TV. I think George Lopez is the most dark Mexican I've ever saw on American TV. Who have you saw?
On TV.
Yeah.
As far as Mexicans go, I'm on the dark side of things, and I've had to hear that all growing up.
Yeah, my husband, unfortunately...
My own family makes cracks at me.
Yeah, my husband's unfortunately...
Unfortunately.
It's not... Well, when you were younger, you said that you used to didn't like how dark you were.
Yeah, because they kept pointing it out to me.
Mm-hmm. But now he's dark and handsome. I actually like when he gets dark, but no, I've heard some of the jokes, within my husband's family, and he's a really good sport about it. But I know that it is, if you are not sure in who you are, hearing jokes about your complexion can be hard. It's really sad that we even still have to talk or deal with this to this day. But I mean, we're tough-skinned people, but thick-skinned people, but on the same token, for all those coming up that are many shades, many variations, it doesn't matter, what your skin type is, you are beautiful, on the positive note. But on a negative note, we would like to see, we hate that we can't see more representation of our skin color on TV and
it's
media.
Sad that it affects things still.
Oh yeah, to this day. I mean, even light-skinned dudes are feeling it. Like, I hear a lot of light-skinned dudes say, man, you light-skinned, so now to be light-skinned is to be soft. It's almost like reverse colorism going on.
Drake messed that up.
Drake with his singing. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Do you think colorism is still an issue? Why is it an issue? Does the media play
Is it in your families and friends?
Well, the media, to me, plays a huge part in why colorism still exists.
I agree.
I mean, what is your thing, babe?
I think as far as like movies and TV, they still support that notion that, lighter skin is still favored regardless. I mean, in general. I know there's light skin jokes and all that, but lighter skin is still favored in movies and TV.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in Latin movies. A majority of Latinos you see in the movies and TV are light-skinned. They'll sprinkle a dark-skinned Latino in every once once in a while, but the majority of it's light skinned.
And most of the villains are darker, I've noticed
Always.
too. I mean, it's not funny, but it's sad. Yeah, I mean, we this is a topic that, you know, like I said, it doesn't just happen in the black community. It actually happens in all communities. I mean, Indian community, you know, all of them. I mean, if you watch TV, the Middle Eastern, it's always the lighter. You never see the darker. Then when you go to the country, it's like, whoa, where do all these dark people come from? Because if you were only to watch TV and the representation of what's on TV, you know, that's what you get. But yeah, we wanted to do a topic on that and how colorism affected us growing up. And I used to always want to be darker like my mom. I always thought her skin was so beautiful, and I know for her, she hates getting dark. And it's just like, I guess it's just the whole, you kind of, what you don't have, you want it type of thing.
You've even witnessed yourself. Other Mexicans will walk up to me and they have to ask me what I am.
That's very true.
They're like...
Yeah, my husband, sometimes, I mean, a lot of his family teases, like, did you date him because he was black? And I'm like, that I thought he was black. I'm like, no, I know he's not black. But my husband has a really good... Now, if you don't know him, don't come up making dark jokes because he's not that cool with everything. But yeah. Now, yeah, it's still an issue. I feel like the media and the movies contribute to it. I think family sometimes doesn't think about how those jokes could affect, because, you know, as much as like my husband embraces his skin when he was younger, yeah, it was different, him being so dark, and it's looked on as, you know, dirty or the help or not as smart.
Just that you're different.
Yeah, you stick out, you know. Even my sister in our family, she's the lightest one, and so I know a lot of times she grew up hearing jokes about her being adopted or stuff like that. It's just really crazy. I mean, you guys really need to, the people that make those jokes, you do understand that, like, dark skin and melanin runs in different shades. I mean, you know, it's just kind of silly that to this day in 2022 we still deal with that. We still deal with songs where girls are like, oh, he likes a light skin, and the men, they like, oh, I like a red bone, I like light skin, this and that. And it's to each his own, but it's just like, if we really want to move past and progress, I mean, is there anything else to sing about or act about besides our skin color or things like that? I mean, what do you think, babe?
I was going to ask you, do you feel like light-skinned women, or as far as the dating scene goes, are picked over darker skin?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Favored, should I say?
Definitely.
Favored?
I think actually, I mean, from what I've saw, is like white men like dark women. Like, if they were to get a black woman, they like tend to go for the darker woman. And I always wonder about that. And I mean, for instance, I look at Gabby Sidibe, you know, Precious. A lot of people are giving her a hard time because she married a white man. I've seen people like make mockeries of that, and it's kind of like, y'all was not dating her. I mean, is she supposed to wait for love for somebody of her race to? I mean, and that brings up the whole interracial relationship thing. It's like, me and my husband, I'm black, he's Mexican, you know. I don't see race. I know people say that, but I'm a big character person. I feel like every race is annoying, for one. For two, is what you have in common with the person. But I do feel like with black women, from my opinion, it's more accepted when a black man dates a white woman versus when a black woman dates out of her race, because it's almost like, oh, you're turning your back on your black man. And it's like, no, I have 2 black sons. My sons are black. But it's not even, it's like, how are we still into this day where we can't choose who we want to love without it seeming like we're going against our race? What do you think, babe?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm out dating. I'm married outside of my race.
But all of his kids are Mexican.
Yeah.
So he contributed to the Mexican
community. Well, I did my part.
And me too. My sons are black, and so I've brought 2 black men to carry on the namesake. But it is sad in this society. Like I said, even like with Gabby Sidibe, like marrying a white man. Someone on Twitter used her photo as like, and I was just like, why? If she chooses to love who she wants to love, why does that matter? Nobody else was jumping up to the plate. I mean, are we supposed to wait on love because our families want us to marry who our race is? Do you feel like that, babe?
I think it's hard to tell. Unlike some people and families are open-minded, where you have closed-minded with an older mentality that you should stay within your race. Mm-hmm. So as far as my experience goes, my family, they usually push. I wouldn't say, they almost push to try to marry white if you can. If not, then stay within your Mexican heritage. Because marrying white was a come up. Period. So that's what they push.
Plot twist: he came up marrying me though, but we ain't gonna speak on that. No, I mean, do you feel like because you're married to a black woman? Do you think that? Have you had any issues on that? Within your family?
No.
I know, like, within my family, I've dated every nationality, but my husband, he has endured some Mexican jokes within my family. Like I said, he has a good sense of humor, but I will also, if it was offending him, I would totally shut that down. And there have been times where I've told my husband, like, things offend me that people like to say just because I'm black and they think I'm cool. It's like, we ain't that cool though, type of situation. And I know growing up, I was told don't date outside my race, like, especially don't bring home a white person. See, it's the polar opposite, like I said, when it comes to like women though, because black women or even Mexican women, is it like that in your community? If a Mexican woman marries a white man, is it frowned upon? Or is it more
by
the
men?
But yeah, it's like the same. The men, like, y'all can marry any race y'all want, but like when a Mexican woman or a black woman, since we're speaking for our two races, marry a white or a black man, it's kind of like frowned upon more, I feel like.
Well, as far as the families go, the women are encouraged to marry up white.
Really?
Yes.
See, in the black community, I've found that most black men do not like if you marry outside of your race.
Well, I'm saying though, for the women. They want their women to marry up white. Men, it's like we're almost forgotten as far as Latin men go.
have you ever dated a white girl?
Not dated, talked to, but I was never that attracted to white women.
I always wonder that.
It's not a knock on them. I just was not attracted to them like that. In general.
I can feel that. I've never dated Asian men. I'm just not attracted to them. I just haven't found one tall enough. But anyway, yeah. No, that was our little spill today on colorism, how it is to be in an interracial relationship. I know that when we go to Mexico, unfortunately, America to me is more of a racist country, especially up north. Like, if you go to Miami or Mexico, you wouldn't even be able to tell me and my husband's nationality. A lot of people don't even know if we're American or till we speak, so it's really more up here, the narrow-mindedness of like, oh, you're black, he's Mexican. If you were to go to Miami or any bigger city for that matter, you would not be able to tell what we are, Dominican, like anything. I mean, you see all kind of races and shades, so it's more so, I feel like a northern, midwestern like thing where you got to know what race somebody is. You got to know, like, it's like, it's really sad. And I mean, like, I know in my husband's family and the media does like make Mexicans look like really bad for our country. And I know that in my husband's family, they were discouraged from knowing Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sad because when we go to Mexico, Mexicans kind of look down on him when he doesn't know Spanish. So like, try to speak Spanish to you and you're like, no hablo.
Yeah, they give me the meanest look.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. It's just because to be a minority in America, it's almost like get in the American standard. You know, denounce your ethnicity. You know, you shouldn't. You know, your first language should be English. You know, and I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it is. You know, to get in the foot in the door. You know, you have to blend in. You have to speak proper. You have to almost talk like, you know, you're white.
Assimilation.
Yep. I mean, I just now started wearing my hair curly. I mean, for my whole life, I straightened my hair and try to blend in. I mean, on job interviews, I mean, we're still in 2022 trying to fight if a person can wear their natural hair texture. Like, it's just sad. But that is our rant spiel on colorism, interracial dating. Anything else you want to bring up, my love?
No, just that it's an ongoing topic and it needs to be. We need to keep talking about it. Mm-hmm. Because ignoring it just makes things worse. So
that is true. I'm gonna give you on that one and some applause and all the above. But thank you guys again for tuning in.
Thank you.
Love and Marriage Podcast. We'll be back next Saturday with some salacious topic. All right, you guys have a good weekend.